In my never-ending quest for the tackiest stuff that's available, I have found this rather splendid pink clam with glitter pearl that changes colour and has an agitator to make the glitter move around inside it. And this is actually take two, because it turns out that this had a devious bit of trickery to it to try and stop you actually opening it. But let me turn the light out and show you what this looks like in the dark. So the globe in the middle, the pearl, the sphere, is made of plastic, and it seems to have 3 LEDs under it and a motor with the agitator to stir it about. And I'm guessing the reason they're using the motor and agitator is it's just quite hard to make a proper glitter lamp that uses thermal convection. This is by far the easiest way to do it. The reason you're seeing a sort of foamy bubbles here is simply because I'm holding it at the wrong angle here, so you can see it changing colour and agitating up the glitter. Right, we've seen it. We've seen the swirls projected. We've seen the glitter shining all over the back. Let's take it apart. So watch your eyes, it's about to get bright again. The black background means that intensity change wasn't too bad. So here's how I got caught out. Now this thing runs off USB, it's got a switch in the back, and it also runs off 3 AAA cells. I think the reason they've gone with AAA is because the motor is in the middle here. I know this because I've had it open because there was no real choice. Given the first take of the video went horribly wrong when I took all the screws out the bottom and couldn't get this off. It seems to have a hidden screw at the back, which it certainly does. I don't know why they've done this, but there is a clip-in mechanism here, and I have filed off the clippy bits because this was clipped in with force after they'd put in a hidden screw. How mean. So out comes that screw. And out come the 2 other screws that I put back in, because I certainly wasn't going to put them all back in. And this should reveal what we need to see. It would have been nice if they used AA's, but they just seem to always use AA's. Now this should theoretically unclip properly, and it comes apart cleanly. Now, it's worth mentioning that the globe here looks as though, I think they've glued it as well, but it is bayonet capped into this. They've put it in and then locked it. And the globe has a lid, and it's also got this little rubber, this silicone rubber seal that they've filled up the liquid when they've finished doing the whole thing. Topped it up as much as they can, then put that little bung in. But there's always a little bit of air left inside these. You can also see a slight seam in the end here. I'm guessing this is blow-moulded, like bottles. Yeah, I can feel a slight seam at the side. It means it's quite robust. It's not glass, which means it isn't going to smash, which is quite nice. Oh, no, you're not going to see the agitator. The agitator is rolling about inside. I shall show you that afterwards. Here is, well, actually, I'll show you it now by zooming down on this. So this is a similar agitator. It's got a motor. There's a motor there with quite a big magnet, and it's got a neodymium iron boron magnet in it. And then in the actual vessel itself is this hemisphere with little blades. And in the case of the one that's in that, it's slightly different. It's only got a recess at the bottom and the magnet, a cylindrical magnet just glued in sideways. And that couples magnetically through the plastic. So when the motor spins, the little agitator blades spin too. Okay, now you've seen that. Let's get back out and look at what's in here. So there's the power circuit board. And here's the main circuit board, which has the little ubiquitous 8-pin chip. It's got 3, 2, 8, 3, 5, 2, 5. I can never remember what order those names go in. The date in the circuit board is 3/3/18, 2018, just prior to the pandemic. But these things have been, I mean, they really are just rows and rows of them in every colour in the windows. So they must be quite popular in the shops. So the circuit board lifts off. It's a single-sided circuit board. Interestingly, it's got patterns of holes around it, suggesting that it was designed to take 5mm LEDs too. And the motor itself is just held in by 3 washers. Let's zoom down this. It's got 3 washers and 3 screws just to clamp the motor into position. And then this little thing that is wedged onto the motor, the little square carrier for the magnet. That is it. Right, tell you what. I think I'm going to be jumping bench at the moment, so I shall take a picture of this and we can take a closer look once I'm back at the usual bench. So I'll do that right now. One moment, please. Reverse engineering is complete. We are back at the normal bench. Let's explore. No great surprises. A simple power supply based on a 10 ohm resistor and a capacitor to provide a filtered supply to a PIC style microcontroller. I say PIC because the pinout of this and the fact they've not used pin 4 does hint at an older design with PIC12F629 microcontroller or a clone thereof. The microcontroller drives the red, green and blue LED via 27 ohm resistors, and it also drives this transistor over here to switch the motor with its own resistor for controlling the speed and a little capacitor across it for noise suppression and also to protect against spikes damaging the transistor. Other things worthy of note, the holes in here that have been punched, and I say punched because this is a SRBP printed circuit board, synthetic resin bonded paper. And one of the ways they mass produce those in some products is to, instead of drilling holes, they'll actually have a sort of mechanical punch that the circuit board goes through and it just smashes all the holes in one go. And that kind of fits that if they wanted to reuse all these other existing holes and the hole in the middle for the motor, the agitator and the support pillars, it makes sense to just use the existing jig and just leave those in. Let's take a look at the schematic. I don't think there's anything else worth mentioning that. There is a LED connection point here under a resistor, and there's also a pad here and here for time minus and time plus. Not sure what that's for. I'll make a guess. Let's get even closer. So the supply can either be from USB or 3 AAA cells. Each of those has a diode in series to prevent them backfeeding into the other. There is a switch, and the switch then feeds the main rails. This 4 volt supply, I started writing 4.5 kind of thing like that, but in reality, it's going to be the 4.5 of the 3 AAAs minus a diode drop, or it's going to be 5 volt minus a diode drop. So the voltage will fluctuate depending on the actual the power source. Here is the filter based on a 10 ohm resistor and a capacitor for the mystery microcontroller. There are the red, green, blue LEDs that do the illumination with their 327 ohm resistors. There is another connection. Here's the time connection, and it is just directly an output from the microcontroller. It makes me wonder if perhaps there's a switch across that, and it's normally pulled high, and if you click the switch, it pulls it low, and maybe puts in a sort of like 6 hours on, 18 hours off timing function. I'm not really sure. That wouldn't be an accurate timing function based on an internal oscillator, particularly with the battery voltage that would waver. Here's the motor with its little capacitor across it. There's a 75 ohm resistor used to control the speed of that motor. It just basically sets it to a nice agitation speed. And there is a classic Y1 NPN transistor, I think it's NPN, with a 1K resistor going to the base to turn it on. There's the LED and resistor that's not used. I'm guessing maybe there's an option, a version with wires going to the lid of the clam, pointed with an LED pointing down. Not really sure. It is a universal circuit board. It will be designed for many different applications. But there we go. It's quite nice. It would be nice with the motor to have it alternate direction, even just twitch direction, just to stir the liquid up in a more controlled manner, because it tends to create a little whirlpool, but most of them do that. It might be worth experimenting with. But other than that, it's fairly standard. It just looks like it is a standard design that's used in many applications, and just right at the moment, the clamshell with the pearl in it is currently the vogue application. Yeah, interesting effect, quite visually appealing, especially at night.